sounds so formal. I don't know if you hear it when I hit the recording. She says, recording in progress. Yeah? Oh my God. She kills me every time. We're going to come to stand. And I feel like if I try to record this on my phone, it's not going to work, but I'm still going to try. Who knows? Maybe I'll have an hour's worth of battery recording time. Just so that it's a little better quality, because sometimes the Zoom can be a little scratchy. Okay, so we're going to take our legs wide, and we're just going to start by slowly warming up, rolling out those shoulders, pressing the hips side to side, really focusing on lifting the shoulders, pushing them back down. And let's do 3, 2, and circle it the other way. Keeping the core tight, hips tucked underneath, pressing into your heels. And we'll bring the arms up, circling it out. Again, core is engaged, hips are tucked under. Now last one, circle it the other way. Really focusing on making that circle bigger as you get warmer. For 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring the arm center, turn out at the hips, sweep the arms up, sumo down, and up, down, and up. Keeping the chest lifted, hips tucked underneath, knees pressing out to the side, tracking over your heels and toes. Good. 3, 2, and 1. We'll take our arms up again. We're going to come back to side as we roll out the wrists. And circle it the other way as you bring them back up. Pardon me. And circle it the other way. Keeping again, core tight, hips tucked underneath. That's just the theme of most things, isn't it? One more time, down and up. From here, we'll come center. Toes can point forward. We're going to slide it down to our ankles. Drop our head, relax our neck and shoulders. Then we're going to shake the head out, no. Then nod, yes. And then reach over to the right leg. And reach over to the left. Bringing it back to the right. Holding the right foot, we're going to bend and extend the left knee. Continuing the motion at your own pace. For 3 more. 2, and 1. Bring it center. Reach it to the opposite leg. Gripping with both hands, you're going to bend the right knee as you're holding the left. Bend and extend, shall I say, moving through as you press in and out. For 2 more. Last one. Bring it center. Now we're going to bend our knees, tuck the hips, roll it up 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. And then at the top, we'll lift our chin. Bring our elbows back, lift the pelvis, and slide down again. Tuck the hips, tuck the chin, slowly roll it up. And then squeeze the shoulder blades as you descend, tailbone lifted. Moving at your own pace here. You can go faster, you can go slower. Just focus on squeezing your shoulder blades together and apart, depending on what movement we're doing. So as we come down, we're squeezing them. As we roll up, we're separating, trying to get that deep stretch along the spine. Let's do 3 more. Keeping the chin tucked as you roll up until the last minute to help you get that stretch in the back of your neck as well. Last one. And bringing it up. From here, legs wide, we're going to bring our arms out. I don't want to smack my walls. We're going to slide side to side for a moment, keeping the hips stable. So you're squeezing the obliques to move the torso. And then we're going to reach over to the left, bring it down to our side bend. So you don't have to extend all the way down. You can always support a little higher. So if that's too deep of a bend, that's perfectly fine. If you stay up here, focus on engaging through this bottom side so you're not collapsing too much into it. And then we'll bring it up. And we'll reach to the other side, to the right, and then come on down. Finding that side bend that feels good to you. Pushing the hips forward and drawing the top arm behind you. Engaging your thighs. And bring it back. Let's go back to the left. Now we're going to draw the arm across the body as we bend to the side. So now we really have to squeeze this side here to help support us. And again, reaching and crunching. Squeezing your glutes here so you're not letting your hips go, right? Try to keep them underneath of you, which it looks like we are. I just have to say it anyway. We're going to come down for 1 moment, bring it down, tuck the knees, slowly roll it up again, and then we'll come right back to it. Okay, so now from our side bend, we'll go to the left. Bring it into our side bend. Our top arm is going to reach forward into our flat back, and at this rate, it's the left arm, if you're with me, will come to your back or either to your thigh if you want that support as you try to lift that tailbone. And then we're going to reach down towards the foot. We're going to come to center. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to roll it up. From here, we're going to come up again, arms, inhaling to the side, to the right this time. Exhale, fold, squeezing the obliques here on that right side. And then we're going to take the left arm, reach it to the corner of the room as we come over that right leg. Right hand on your back or on your thigh. And bring it all the way down. And bring it to center. Bend the knees, slowly roll it up. From here, we're going to come back into one more set, roll, pushing to the left, sliding to the left. Little side bend, engaging through the core on the left. Reaching to the corner of the room, flat back. Folding over, releasing your head. Now walking over to the other leg. So now we're over that right leg. We're going to exhale up into our flat back. So our left arm will reach to the corner of the room. And then the right arm will tuck underneath, crunching to the right. And then bring it up center. And then we'll reverse once. Bring it to the right. Side bend, crunching through that side body. Left arm reaches to the corner of the room. Right arm supportive. Legs are active. Reach down and breathe. Come to the other leg. And then again, now we're going to take that right hand up to the corner of the room, left hand supporting. And then we're going to take our left hand under, right arm over, crunching through that left side, squeezing your glutes. And bring it up to release. Great job. So we're just going to warm up the neck. You're going to look up and down at your own pace, and you're going to try to find your rate, like the range of motion that you get stuck in, and then just try to push just beyond your range of motion. So you're just trying to get a little deeper than you're necessarily able to get by just exhaling into the extremity of each pose in the stretch. And then we're going to go side to side. Same thing. Try to look over your shoulder like you're checking your blind spot. You're not just looking side to side. You're trying to look behind you. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Bring it center. And then one ear side to side, just dropping the ears to the shoulders. So finding again your range of motion, trying to push just beyond it to give yourself that extra little stretch. Good. From here, we're going to do a full semicircle, or a little semicircle before we do a circle. So semicircle along the front. Shoulders down. And then circle it all the way around for 3, 2, and 1. Tucking the chin to reverse the motion for 3, 2, and 1. Keeping your chin tucked, you're going to interlace your hands behind the back of your head, and you're going to push your head into your hands, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release, and we're going to slide all the way down to our feet again, dropping the head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to turn over toward our right leg, stepping our left leg back into our lunge. I'm just going to adjust the screen. You guys can hang out just so you can see me a little better now that I'm down here. So our right leg is forward, our left leg is back, and we're going to just hold the hands on the inside of the foot. Sorry, today I can't make decisions. On the inside of the foot. From here, we're going to move dynamically into a wide triangle. So you're going to push through your hands, push back into your back foot as your front foot flexes, and then bring it forward. So you can come onto your fingertips if you're like, girl, I can't reach the floor there. Or if you have blocks, grab blocks and put them under your hands. If your back is rounding a bit, that's okay. I just want you to try to flatten the back. You can also be on your fists if that feels better for you. Beautiful. Flexing that front foot as it pulls up and straightening out the leg. Last 2. Last 1. Beautiful. We're going to hold it in our lunge. Squeeze those legs nice and actively, and we're going to keep our left hand on the floor and take our right hand up. So we're going to take the right hand to the inside of your foot and take the left hand up. Try to keep your right knee nice and tight into that shoulder on the ground. Squeeze through your glutes on that bottom side. And we're going to bring it down. We're going to pull the back leg up to a regular triangle now. And we're going to lift up. So now you're going to flat back. Trying to lift your tailbone. Squeeze your thighs. Activate your core. Shoulder blades squeezing. Shoulder tops down away from the ears. Little micro bend in that front knee. Now same twists, left hand to the floor, right hand up. Gently bring the right hand down, and we'll take the left hand up. Beautiful. And then we'll take it to the floor, and we'll just fold over the leg, relaxing the head, neck, and spine. We're going to take the back leg back into our lunge.
And again, take the hands on the inside of that foot. From here, we're going to turn into our side lunge, keeping this right knee bent, squeezing the glute. And then we're going to circle back in. So we're doing a little pivot, dynamic movement here. Side lunge to traditional lunge. Focusing on moving your toes and your feet, pivoting on your feet, we'll call it, and walking the hands over to help support you through the movement. Last one like this. Now as we turn back to center, so we're going to regular lunge, and then we'll side lunge, and then we'll flex the foot and sink down as much as we can, trying to keep the right heel down. Then we're going to come up again, turn back, and then come back again. So if we can't go all the way down, we're just flexing the foot and getting as far down as we can, and then we're pressing back, and our thigh is on fire, and that's okay. Flexing the left as we sink down a little. You're trying to externally rotate your left foot. So even if you don't come down, you're still working mobility. If you externally rotate that flex and flex the foot and point the toe and the knee at the ceiling. Last one. And hold it now wherever you can. In this position, our Cossack stretch. Beautiful, beautiful breathing, and bring it up. Slowly walk your feet a little closer together if you need to, so you can just take a fold and breathe. We're gonna slowly roll it up for a moment. We're gonna pretend I have a head, it's all good. We're gonna grab our right foot, the leg that's on fire, and we're going to stretch out that quad. Okay, so we're finding our balance here, trying to keep the big toe of the stationary leg on the ground. A lot of the times we're like wobbling on the side of our foot. We want to stabilize our foundation, squeeze the glutes, try to keep these knees together. Naturally, as we forget what we're doing, the leg releases. So we want to keep the knees together and press the hips forward ever so gently. Good. Beautiful. From here, we can release for a second. We're going to stretch that leg out one more time. I'm just going to adjust this so you can see my top half. From here, now we're going to grab the back foot, whichever way you can have it, the same way you had it with the hand, or I prefer from the inside. We're going to lean forward and extend the left hand as we bring the right leg up. We're trying to still stretch out the quad, but we're focusing on a little balance here. Whoa. I'm turning my head, so now I'm going to turn this way, you guys. If you don't fold, it makes it very hard to get your leg up. Push the foot up now. Micro bend in that knee. Beautiful. Chest in line with the hips for 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Gently shake it out. Beautiful, my loves. We're going to grab some hydration before we move on. And then we'll do the other side. Awesome. Oh yeah, I feel that leg. I see you shaking them out, Allie. I feel you. It's good burn, right? Okay, we'll do the other side and we'll move on. Just waiting for Ashley to get back with her water because I see that she's still not back. There she is. There's no rush, girl. Take your time. I'm happy to chill. So from here, we're back in our wide leg stance. And we're gonna walk it over to our left leg. Stepping our right leg back. Turning into our lunge. Okay, focusing on that back foot being just the balls of your foot on the floor, and you're pressing your heel backward to try to get a stretch in your calf. We're going to move dynamically into our wide triangle, hands on the inside of the foot. Inhale, and on the exhale, flex the foot, straighten that front leg, and press back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Or be a reverse if that feels better for your body. You do you. A couple more times as we breathe through it. Good. Trying to keep that back leg straight. Last one. Beautiful. From here, we're going to hold it at the top for a moment and then bring it back into that lunge. We're going to keep our lunge for a moment, finding our stability here. before we take our left hand up to the ceiling. Try to lift, lift out of your right shoulder here. And let's take it down left and right. Trying to keep your knee close to the shoulder, pressing your right heel away from you. And gently release. We're going to pull our back leg up into our regular triangle now. And rest our hands on the leg to come up. Shoulders down away from the ears, shoulder blades squeezing together. Squeezing your thigh, lifting your tailbone, lengthening your spine. Take that right hand to the floor when you're ready. We're going to take our left hand up to the ceiling. Keep that left leg as straight as you can. Squeeze through the thigh. And then we'll take the hand down to the ankle or the inside of the foot, and we'll take the right hand up. Let's try to straighten out that left leg as much as we can. Breathing deep. Gorgeous. Bring it down. And so begins the burning. We're going to step back. I always have to mentally prepare myself when we get to this part of the dynamic stretches. I'm not gonna lie. We're going to inhale, come in. Oh, my hip popped. I don't know if you heard it. Exhale, come back. Or exhale this way. And inhale this way. Really, the breathing direction is your choice. As long as you are breathing, you're doing well. Remember, your feet are pivoting on the mat so that you can adjust the angle of your feet for the lunges because they should be different. Feet turned out here, toes parallel in your regular lunge. Last one like this. Now we're going to sink down as far as we can, flexing our right toe and rotating the knee to point up. Trying to sink into that left heel as far as we can get. And then we're going to turn back into lunge. And then we're going to come back through side lunge and sink down, flexing the foot. And then we're going to turn back to lunge and keep flowing through the burn for 3, 2, last one. And then you're going to hold it as deep as you can hold it, flexing that foot and turning your knee up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Let's bring it up. Slowly walk your feet a little closer together so that you can roll it up one vertebrae at a time. From here, we're going to grab our left leg. If there's a wall near you, feel free to use it. Otherwise, let's try to focus on balance. Grab your left foot, back of the top of the foot. Can't speak English. Bring the knees together as much as you can and squeeze your glutes so that rather than being back here, we're pressing forward, almost like you're trying to banana back a little bit. Pardon me. Squeeze the glute. Even push your foot into your hand just a little bit, and that will help get deeper into your quad muscle here. Good. Gently release. And then we're going to come into our dancer pose, as it would be called. So balancing on your right foot, you're going to grab your left foot either from the inside or again from the outside, okay? You can do this entirely holding a wall if you need it. Otherwise, arm extends to counterbalance your leg. You have to shift forward or fold at the hips, drop your chest before you can even think about lifting your leg up any higher. Otherwise, the leg will take you down. Squeezing, you're looking in line with your front hand or gaze slightly down for 3, 2, I'm turning away, and 1. Bring it back. Great job. Roll up the wrists. Breathe. Grab another sip of water if you need it. I'm going to plug in my computer because I realized it's at a very low powerage, and I don't want us to die partway through. Time. Good timing. All right. Are we feeling a little warmer, my loves? Excellent. Me too.
I just wanted to let you know, I feel probably the most lightheaded I've ever trained with you today for some reason. I don't know.
Oh no.
If I'm taking breaks, you know why.
Yeah, man, take your breaks. That's all
More
good.
than usual.
Did you have breakfast or anything this morning?
I did. I don't know. It's going up and down, I guess. Like even with the forward fold and then up. I don't know. It's just aggravating it more so today. I don't know.
Yeah, every day is
Oh,
different. Thank you for
yeah,
letting me
sorry.
know. No worries. Don't be sorry. Just live within it. Yeah, work within
Yeah.
it and take your breaks, and we'll just do our best to not pass out.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Yes, all the breaks, my love. If you need to break anytime, that goes for everybody. Anytime. That's always the rule. This is your practice. I'm just here guiding it.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Let's come to our backs. Now that we're on the ground, we might as well lay on our backs. I'm going to adjust the screen so you can see a little better of me. We're going to warm up the core just a smidgen more before we move on to the balances of the day. I'm actually go on the mat now because it's more soft. And all the way back. This might feel nice for everybody. From here, we're going to come into our dead bug. I've forgotten the name of it. Our knees are going to come directly over our hips, and we're going to take our feet in line with our knees, and we're going to flex our feet. Okay, so make sure you're not pulling your knees in too tightly. You want to keep them hovering right over the hips so it feels a little bit challenging. Your hands can come under the bum to help lift the tailbone because we want to try to keep the gap under the butt by really tucking the tailbone and pressing the lower back into the floor. Hands, again, can be under the tailbone, or they're going to come up over your shoulders, reaching to the ceiling. If they're here, reaching to the ceiling, my dog is barking to go outside. Let's see if he needs to go, or if he's just trying to get my attention. We're going to reach towards the ceiling. If you can, shoulders can stay on the floor, or tucking the chin, you're going to roll the shoulders off the ground, one vertebrae at a time, reaching up. We're squeezing the knees together. And we're focusing on breathing, lifting the tailbone off of the floor. Breathing, breathing, breathing for 10, 9, 8. Oh yeah, he's bugging me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Take the arms out. Find a deep breath. You guys are going to reset it up, reaching up. Legs come back up, tucking that tailbone. Inhale, tuck the chin. Exhale, roll it up. And now we're holding again, focusing on just finding that engagement, finding that control, finding stillness, and breathing within it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Reaching the arms out wide. The next section of the class will be me bringing the computer up so I can let my dog out and keep talking. Roll it to your bellies, my love. Stretch it out in your upward dog, cobra. Nobody's here, so I'll have to let him out because he's had the runs. TMI. You have to go bathroom. You guys can have my puppy for. Alrighty, from here, you're gonna relax back onto your chest. Hands by your chest. Press up off the ground. So you're just pressing ever so slightly, and then you're gonna hover your hands. Hovering the hands off the ground in line with your shoulders. We're gonna inhale, extend the arms forward. Exhale, pull back and pulse. Inhale, extend forward. Exhale, pull back and pulse. I want you to keep the elbows bent as you pull back. So you're just pulling them back and lifting that chest. Knees down. I can do a quick demo if we need. So here we are. If we need that demo, we're here. We're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Focus on squeezing your glutes. Your legs are pressing into the ground. They're not lifting at all. And you're just lifting that upper back or squeezing through that upper back to lift your chest. Last 3, 2, 1. Now hold the arms extended. Lift them up higher. Now squeeze your legs up. So you're squeezing your glutes to take your knees off the ground. You want your feet and your knees hovering. Squeezing everything. You're looking forward in line with your hands. I'm looking at you. Now we're pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Make a little pillow and drop your forehead. Okay. Ooh. And look to the right. And look to the left. Come on, let's go. Do your business. And press back to child's pose. Come on. You're just gonna stand around in there. Come on. Reach to the right, stretching it out. As you reach to the right, press your hips to the left in that child's pose. Yes, we're gonna get a cookie. Go on. And inhale, center. Reach to the opposite side. On your bed. Thank you. And pressing the hips the opposite direction you are reaching. I know, I said we'd go. We'll go after. Pardon me. From here, you're gonna come back to center into your child's pose, but take your arms back towards your feet now and just relax your arms, tucking your chin a little bit more and finding stillness. I'll be back, I promise. He's very unimpressed that I'm downstairs with you guys and not up here with him. He'll have to survive for another 25 minutes. Awesome. From here, I'm just gonna set up because I can't describe the next pose without it sounding extremely strange. So from here, in that position that you're in, you can check me out first. You're gonna tuck your toes under. So I have my socks are making my feet invisible. You're gonna tuck your toes under, and then you're gonna come to the crown of your head. Then you're gonna grab your heels. Right, we've done this one before. You're gonna inhale, and on the exhale, you're lifting your hips and trying to round your back. Pull your arms down. Focus on pressing your spine out of your back and pulling your arms and shoulders down towards the floor. For 3, 2, and release. Gently make your way to inhale. Feel good?
Yeah.
All right. So from here, we are going to work on our lever kicks. You can use the wall or you can do them freestanding. It's really up to you. Or actually, if you're not feeling the kicking motion, just work on an L sit or L handstand against the wall, which is fine too. So you should be able to see me here, but if you want to simply work coming up and holding rather than moving, which is totally fine, we can just hold here. Same thing, Allie, if you'd rather work this. We can start here and we're going to focus on tucking the pelvis and lifting the pelvis. So why don't we all just start in the same place? Tucking and lifting for a few sets, a few reps while you're there, and then gently coming down. It's me getting closer so I can see. Nice, Allie. Now tuck the pelvis, focusing on that hollow body we did in Dead Bug. You'll probably bring your hands a smidgen closer, Allie. I know it already feels like you're close enough, but you're like just slightly tilted. You're slightly on this front angle. I know it doesn't feel it, but you are just a little. And then tucking and tilting, focusing on finding that difference in the feeling. The movement comes from your hips. Beautiful, Ashley. And that's going to help create stability and awareness when you're in that handstand. Yes, Allie, bring your ears between your biceps. You're fighting it a bit with your head, like your head's trying to come forward. Perhaps because that's what I'm doing, because I'm chatting with you guys when I'm doing things. But think about having your head right between your arms and actually looking down in between your thumbs. Yeah. Ashley, how you doing? So, that's okay. Good. Right, taking a minute, breathe in, fabulous. All right, From here, let's do the same thing. And now this time we're going to focus on, if it feels all right, walking ourselves into the wall. So we don't have to start so far away. We can cheat. We can start closer with our legs higher up so that we're just trying to come into more of a vertical alignment. With our toes still on the wall, we're going to do the exact same exercise of trying to tuck and tilt the pelvis, or trying to lift and lower the tailbone underneath. So I'm just going to adjust this a smidge. Okay, so again, you can start way closer. That way you don't have to walk so far. Okay, and that means though you just have to maneuver the leg up the wall without smacking anything. Pushing into the hand. So if you get here and you're like, girl, that's enough, then you hang out. From this position, you're tucking and tilting the tailbone. Okay, your legs are straight, your feet are flexed against the wall. Okay, and then if you want to walk it closer, you can also do that before you do your tucks and tilts. Okay, then you'll have to walk it back in. Okay. One thing I want you to think about is having, if it feels okay, your legs completely together and squeezing them together like there's a piece of paper between your legs, and you're trying to stop that paper from sliding out. And that's going to help create more engagement through the midline of your body and just control the sway of your legs. Okay. All right, let's do it. Again, the number of tucks and tilts is dependent on you and how long you can hold the handstand. So just play within your strength this morning. Nice, Ashley. Tucking, tilting, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just try to keep your knees straight. Yeah, when you're doing, especially the tilt. Yeah. So always just like a little resistance against the wall. Beautiful, guys. It looks so good. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Awesome. Walking it back down and out. Taking a moment. Roll out the wrists. You can shake out the arms like you just hung out up there for a hot second. If your neck is tight, move it around and just, listen to whatever your body needs. This might feel good too because it's a lot of shoulder blades, so your back might be tight. Just rounding the back might feel good. Okay, we're going to do like pretty much everything is the same on this next exercise, except now we're going to flatten our feet. So instead of pointing our toes, we're going to instead of flexing our toes, we're going to point our toes and come onto the backs of our feet so that it's more the, I guess it's kind of an ankle exercise because you're keeping your ankles engaged as you're pressing into the wall. But it's also just to express, like to train the muscle memory. Guys, I can't speak. But it's to train that muscle memory because when we are in our handstand, we will be pointing our toes. You know what I need. I just can't talk. So I'm just going to lift this up so you can see. I'll do a quick demo. Still get up the same way, right? Walk it up with the balls of your feet. And then once you get into position, then you're going to point your toes. Squeezing your legs together. You're going to tuck or tilt and tuck. Notice how my knees are staying straight the whole time. So this tuck is really just a glute squeeze. This is a release. Okay, you can always dismount sideways if you're like, I'm about to fall on my face and I need to come out, so long as the space you're in allows for you to do that without killing something. Pardon me. Let me see it when you're ready, my loves. Yeah. Focus on keeping your ankles nice and active and everything together. Knees, ankles, midline of those legs touching. You trying to just find a height that you can do it at?
Well, I just found nails in the wall. I don't want to.
Oh, girl. Yeah, no, be careful. We don't want to do that.
No.
You can also just go back to the L sit, right? Like if you know where, like the L stand.
Yeah.
Rather than legs up, just work the L stand again and keep working those tucks and tilts. You're still in a handstand. It's all good on the hood. The L stand is harder. Nice, Ashley. Those look good. There you go, Allie. Beautiful alignment. Perfect L. Love it. Love it. Shake out when you're done that one. Give yourself a minute. Roll out the wrists. Also, stretch out the other side of the wrists, right? Like this is a big stretch with all of our body weight on it. So a lot of the times when we come out, either doing this separately or both, like whatever you need, that feels good. But focus on just giving yourself that little stretch. Oh yeah, that feels nice. Fabulous. Giving it a little circle. Good. So from here, it's me looking at the time. I'm just figuring out how we're feeling. Feeling good? We're feeling great. Excellent. Okay, cool. Let's work on similar kind of movement. It might depend on our like space. So you guys are gonna end up doing something different because I know Allie doesn't have the space for this. So, but Ashley, we're gonna see if you have the space to do the modification on the wall. Because again, I want you to kick up less and just focus on balancing a little bit more. So instead, if you can have a little bit of range next to you. I already know this is gonna get in my way. That's heavy. Those things are way heavier than you think they are. Holy shit. From here. Okay, we're gonna come up again. Now, as high as you can go, you're gonna open a leg. And then bring it up. And then open a leg. And then bring it up. You hear my voice? So it's an oblique squeeze. Allie, you can also, let's see. Say you're in L. You can focus on, feels a little weirder. I guess you can pull it forward, but you can still do it. Oh man, it's harder in that version. I'm not gonna lie, my love. Okay, option as well if you're like, that seems a little too hard. Allie, if you want to do, also Ashley, if you're feeling up to the movement, you'll just do straddle pops instead. Hands on the floor, like legs nice and bent. You're popping, trying to open nice and wide to find little air time, so you can do that more laterally on your mat and have this space in the room. But those are the two kind of exercises I want us to focus on, either a straddle pop or in that handstand against the wall, one leg circling as far down as it can,
Okay.
at a time.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. Ashley, you could also do this against your pole if you don't have space on your wall, except you're not going to be dragging the foot down the wall. It's just going to be free flowing side, but your belly and chest can still be on the pole if you need the space.
Oh yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Then maybe you have to. Actually,
I as long as the resistance against the wall isn't the most important thing, because I'm a little safer on the wall than the pole, but I probably can't go all the way down.
That's okay. Yeah. As long as you still have the one foot on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Awesome. Oh no, Allie. Oh, there's a leg up there. Excellent.
I'm glad they can hook on to. We'll see.
Yes, just be careful of those toes.
Okay.
Awesome. So we're trying to basically do a gigantic, let's call it circle. Yeah, any movement, right? So the more you force yourself to move in the handstand, the more the shoulders now have to stabilize against that movement. So we're basically just creating stability muscles so that going up into handstands, any type of swaying, you can learn to start adjusting or correcting it while you're in the handstand with little exercises like this that force you to compensate for movement. Assisted, thankfully. Assisted is always nice. Great job, Allie. Those were excellent. Ashley, you look fantastic. You did great. I know, right? Holding up a burn. Those were excellent. Take a minute. Roll it out. Breathe. Excuse me. I burped. Back of the hands. We've done a lot of handstand stuff already. Okay. We can also stretch out the traps a little bit. We have a tendency sometimes of crunching and then putting a little too much weight in there. That's okay. So I would like to work on a kick up to the wall. Whether you're tired of your handstands or not is totally cool. Like if your hands are like, girl, I need a break, then you're just going to transition to forearm stands. And we're going to focus on getting up against the wall with as much control as possible. So the trick with this, to use as little momentum as possible, is the key today. And to do that, you have to get your butt as high as possible when you start, so that you're already like almost upside down, right? So I'm going to show you both versions depending on what we're feeling. We're starting in our downward dog if we're on our hands. So we'll be in the downward dog fully. And the closer your feet are, the more you're upside down. So technically the less your butt has to go. If you're very close and you take a step back from there from one leg, just make sure you're bending into that front leg to give you some power to push off of. So even though I'm bending my leg and my butt's coming down, the fact that once I straighten my leg, my butt will be very high is the goal, or the thing that's going to help me get there faster and sooner without as much effort. Okay? Or without as much swing. Okay? Once we start lifting that back leg, we're going to press through the front leg, and you can just tuck it because it was bent, right? And then you're like, oh, fuck, I'm here, right? And then you can lead back down the same way. Similarly, if you're on your forearms, bring it in nice and tight. Step one leg back, dropping into the front knee, so squatting down because you want to squat down to press up. As I swing, I hardly have to press off my bottom leg because I'm so upside down in order to get there. So it's not a super hard swing because otherwise I'm going to kick the wall and that's going to hurt. It's just about getting as upside down at the beginning before you go up. That's also going to force your shoulders to work a little harder because you're being more upside down before the start. So it's a quasi-strengthening exercise as well as a method to get there with less momentum and more ease. Cool? Okay. Let's see it. Keep your elbows nice and straight, Allie. So think about, because you're like bending them a bit.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I'm gonna go on my it's just because it's just a railing up here. I think I'll go on my
Yeah. If it's more like a mental thing that's stopping you because there's stuff all around you, definitely just elbow it out. You did a lot of handstand work today, girl. You're not missing anything. Nice, Ashley. See how close it was? So you smashed into the wall. Okay, but see, so less momentum, and keep the swinging leg straight because it was bent. That's why your foot slammed into the wall. So just try to keep it straight so that it's like a flatter leg coming up rather than like a poof, because that's what happened. That's why it was also so much closer, because you bent your knee and your foot was technically a little closer. But it was lovely. See how fast and easy it was? I love it. I'm so happy. Okay, Allie, focus on pressing into those elbows and lifting up out of your shoulders. So you're hovering, your head is not on the ground at all. You should be able to look side to side. Nice, Ashley. That was much better. Nice, Allie. So try to engage the shoulders, Allie, prior to kicking up, because it kind of looks like you're collapsing and then getting taller in the forearm stand, right? Am I correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. That's okay. So when you're setting up, okay, what's happening is you're here and you're like this, right? Okay. So in this position, focus on this position just as important. Or in between your elbows and you're not rounding your backs. So you want you to think of squeezing your shoulder blades and trying to do this with your boobs. And that will help engage your back muscles and focus and bring in that positioning. So you're looking down at the floor, I know you want to look at your feet, but they're not going to help you. Yeah, down at the floor will force you to engage properly because your face will hit the floor otherwise. That's a good tip. Yeah. It's harder now though because you have to engage in the lift, but it'll be better. It'll be more strong. I don't know how to speak, but it's going to be also safer, right? Because when we're kicking up out of engagement, it's like you're smushing your neck, and that's even more dangerous.
Yeah, not okay.
Yeah, so just focus on face looking at the floor, and that's going to really force you to not collapse, because otherwise it's going to feel like you're about to smash your face in. Beautiful, Ashley. Now focus on, if you can, Ash, tuck the tailbone a bit, that hollow body that we did on the ground. Beautiful. Nice ladies, nice ladies. Okay. I'm watching you, Allie. You got this.
I know.
Tripped out because you don't want to break anything. It's all good. All good. You can also just focus on freestanding kicks, so that if you know you have more space behind you and you don't have to do it on the wall, you're welcome to just stand where you know you have space to do a full swing, and you can just focus on getting more comfortable with that air flight moment of airtime, you know?
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
and I think I'm collapsing because my shoulders are tired. So
Yeah, they're tired. And that's perfect because that means we worked hard.
yeah.
All right. Let's sit down. I think we're all there. We're going to open up our legs. That went by so fast.
Huh.
It's because I have to warm you guys up for so long. By the time we get to the handstands, it's like handstand, 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 peace. But also because nobody wants to do handstands for that long. I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to. It's a lot of handstands.
Warm up for perfect. Great.
We're going to reach up and we're going to think of lengthening up as we twist and then fold. So whatever leg you want to start with is fine. Just make sure this other leg is pressed down. So try not to let a gap happen. Keep that hip pressing as you reach across with both hands. Try to drop your head, neck, and shoulders. Now from here, you're going to place your forearms or your hands on either side of your leg. Okay, and then you're going to focus on pulling through your arms. They're not actually going to move very much, but I want you to focus on pulling on them so that you can pull your pelvis forward. Notice how my hip is moving. So I want you to focus on that pull, and then it will also help lift your chest and flatten your upper back, because that's actually where you want to focus the stretch, a little more posture in the stretch to get deeper into it sometimes. And that will also help open up our hips and our hamstrings. Now we're going to take our back hand under and our arm overhead. So we're crunching through this inside still. I am actually not pushing my elbow into the floor at all. I'm hovering and just pushing back into my legs. So that forces me to work an active stretch. And that will just keep you a little safer, but also helps you condition at the same time. We're going to bring it up. Reaching up, twist over the opposite leg, and sink down. Remember, you're keeping this hip on the floor, and to start, we're just reaching across and dropping the head, neck, and shoulders. From here, we're going to put our hands on either side of the foot. If you can get to your forearms, awesome. If not, you're on your hands. You're pulling your elbows back, trying to press the pelvis forward, lifting your tailbone, shoulder blades down away from your ears. Beautiful. And we'll take our back arm, bringing it in front, press it back into the leg so that this bottom shoulder also comes forward. So you want to think pushing into the elbow so the chest comes open. That'll help you get deeper into your stretches, but also helps you stretch your spine out more, work your rotation more, makes our crazy pull moves easier. But also, we do a lot of sitting, standing things that make us tight, so it's always good to get movement in the spine. They say a healthy spine is what dictates how you feel. So how old you feel is dependent on how healthy your spine is. So the tighter your spine, the more pain you're in, and the more old and kind of tin manish you're gonna feel, because your spine controls all the things. So the more flexible your spine is in all directions, front, back, side, side, twist, twist, and then there's one other one that I know I'm missing. But all those movements are very important for our overall health. We're gonna come forward, actually. Why not? We're gonna take our hands behind, roll the shoulders back. You're gonna make sure your knees and toes are pointed up. Whether they're pointed or flexed is up to you. Just make it so they're not rolling in. We want them rolling out. Sometimes I literally hold my legs and I push them backward because they don't want to stay there. So you can do that, or you squeeze your glutes at the back to help facilitate that rotation as well. Hands behind, you're going to start by leading with your chest, squeezing your thigh muscles because your hands are behind you and there's not a lot of pressure forward, and squeeze your butt cheeks as well. Okay, just keep trying to rotate out. If your hands come in front, that's cool, but don't keep the chest leading. I want to see that cleavage. If you're further back, that's okay. I see you there, Ali. You're doing great. Squeeze those thighs. And we'll bring the hands forward so we can roll it back. You can gently bring it in. Like if this is not comfortable for you to sit in, you can sit any other way. Otherwise, just keep your legs wide-ish, but not too uncomfortably. We're going to take the right arm across the chest, pulling with the left. So I want you to find resistance here. Push away with the right hand as you pull in with the left. And think of rotating your right hand so it's palm up as though you're holding a bowl of soup. Push that right shoulder down away from your ear. And then we're going to release and switch. So left hand across, holding your bowl of soup. Right arm pulls in, and you're trying to push out. As you pull in, dropping that shoulder down. You can also think of lifting your right hand or right arm. Notice how I pulled this arm up. Because sometimes being down here makes this happen. I want this left hand to be in line with this shoulder. So I want this arm to be, we'll call it horizontal, my straight arm to be horizontal rather than because right off the bat it will help adjust the positioning of my shoulder and then make it so you don't have to think so much. Grab an elbow, align it over the shoulder. Again, find your resistance. You're pushing it out as you hold it there. So it's staying over your shoulder. It's not going behind your head. Staying right next to your ear, and you're pushing it out as you hold it there. You'll get a stretch in the tricep just the same. And now I want you to lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, and press your chest forward. Now we're going to lean toward, if that feels okay. Gently release and switch. So elbow over the shoulder, finding resistance. You're pushing out as you pull and hold it in, keeping it right over the shoulder. It is not behind our head. So it's behind our head, it's going to push our head forward. We want to keep our chin lifted as we push out and hold in place, getting that resistance. Shoulder tops down away from the ears. So also resist this leg, neck is long. Gently release. My elbow popped. Good job. We're going to drop the left ear, take our left hand up, and press our right hand away. So shoulder down away from the ear. I like to think as though someone's pulling on my wrist, and then it helps get a deeper stretch in my arm as well. And gently release. And we're going to switch, dropping the right ear, right hand up, reaching away with that left arm, and shoulder tops down away from the ears. Gently release. You're going to soften your knees and gently bring them in. Okay, we're going to do a little windshield wiper if we need it, just to loosen things up again. And then we'll sit, you can sit facing me. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, you're going to sit with your knees bent, your feet planted and your knees together. I am interlacing my hands around or under my legs, but you can also hold on to one of the wrists. We're going to tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis, and we're going to imagine bringing the elbows up as we roll back and push our spine out of our back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Gently bring it up. We can come up and we'll do a quick little roll before we finish off as well for the wrists. Okay, let's do back of the hand. So completely cover the back of the hand with the other one. And then as you straighten this top elbow, pull gently against it with the bottom arm. Try to keep your hand in line with your shoulders down away from your ears. And then same thing, switch, cover the whole hand so your fingertips are up by your wrist, and then straighten out that elbow as you pull gently. And you don't want to pull too hard. You don't need a lot of pressure
to get a stretch. We also don't get a lot of pressure to make an injury, as we have unfortunately discovered. So just listen to your body, gently roll it out. Ashley, how does your wrists feel? Great job, guys. That's the end of our lesson today. Did wonderfully, but how's your wrist, my love?
This stretch is what it really pulls in here.
There, okay. So maybe
Like the pushing away wasn't too bad.
Perfect. I mean, it could have been you pinched something in here. So that way, but it could also be like, you know, if something got swollen, like that totally makes sense. So just ice it, you know, until it's kind of feeling better, like on and off intermittently, and do that stretch. If that's where you feel it, don't find pain. Just look for some discomfort and just do a gentle stretch in that area. So maybe it's just tight because like you jammed it like that against the pole.
No, I think I went too far down on my.
And it was the Saturday
hanging, yeah.
Yeah, like it's so maybe it's just bruised.
Yeah.
Who knows? But listen to that body. Maybe don't do satellite for a couple days.
Oh yes, for sure.
But you'll have to show me. That's one that I want to work on. It scares the shit out of me.
Oh, really? You're like fearless.
I love you, and I'm not at all. That's the reputation I'm glad to have. But there's always something that scares me. Like anything back elbow scares me because my shoulders are so tight. And like flips scared the poop out of me. I love them. They scared the fuck out of me. That fuck. And like fongies, like anything where you're like having to readjust your grip on the pole, I get scared. If I have one hand holding only and I'm upside down, I'm scared because I'm like, but my only hand is not gonna hold me. Like, let me tell you, I'm a big baby. I'm just good at hiding it. Because I'm just trying to inspire you guys. But also, trust me, I'm always in the same boat. When I learn a new move, I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Or it's just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But as I've become an instructor and done more and more, I'll see a new move and I'll think to myself, there's no fucking way I can do that right now. It's become like, I can't do that presently versus back then where I would be like, I could never do that. You know, so like we're always capable of improving. We just have to know like there's always gonna be fear when it comes to new pole moves. We're dangling off a fucking pole.
I think that's what makes you really good at progressions. Like you're a very good instructor with like giving you like, okay, even with the twisted sister, it's like, okay, you get to this and then you hold it. And then of course your nervous system just has to get used to the first position. And then, and then you're like, but the leg has to come off and you're like, hell no.
Oh yeah. It's eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's a great instructor.
I'm grateful to hear that. That's always my goal is to just like have you guys train safely. So always let me know if you hear something come out of my mouth that you're like, Kelly, that was stupid. Or that sounded unsafe. But always my goal to have you practice safely because let me tell you, I've done it all. I've injured myself doing all of the things I love and I don't like it and I don't want that for you. So, and I used to train over concrete in my basement.
Oh,
so like I had to train my nervous system to not let go of the pole when I got scared. So that was also part of it was I put myself in a dangerous position. And so my nervous system was like, well, if I let go, I die. So I'm not letting go. So I would like slide or like, you know, like fumble out of something, but come out, you know, in that safe way. That's why I kind of also know how to fall out of things, we'll call it safely, because I've probably done it over my floor. But as an instructor, that's also our job is to make sure that you guys know what not to do because sometimes it's the more natural feeling thing to do. The thing that we're I know it's awful, but so proud of you guys today. I hope you enjoyed our class. I'm going to send out the recordings from this week and last week this weekend. So if you don't see a recording by Monday, can you both please email me and say, Kelly, send me my recording. I would love that. But I'm going to send it out by the end of the day. That's my goal.
Perfect.
If you have any questions or anything, let me know, and I'll see you guys soon. It was so great to have you. Thank you for your patience with my fumble this morning. I apologize.
We're all good. Thank you.
Very grateful. You're welcome. I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, loves.